Vera, well, as you're looking out into the hallway still, you can see that several of the men do come out of the room, and it seems like they've pulled a young girl out of the room, and they've shut the door, and you can hear them saying, "Hurry up and shut the damn door," and you can see that this girl, her arm is covered in blood, and you can see that she has a bite wound on her arm also. And the two gentlemen out there that were helping her in the hallway are they appear to be fine. They're a little roughed up. They've got some blood on their shirt. They've got still got their dinnerware on. White shirts, and they've got blood on their sleeves, and a couple of them, as they turn around, you can see they've got some blood on their face, but it doesn't seem like they've been hurt at all. But the girl that they did pull out, she does have a pretty severe, what appears to be another bite wound or gouge that's in her forearm. She appears to be about 16 or 17 years old. A young girl that you've seen. She has blonde hair.
I step away from the door, I pull out my dictionary, and I flip to the R's.
What the fuck?
I think Ship has rabies.
Yeah, and you can hear the girl. She's really starting to scream now too, Vera. Something about her father.
So I think this lady across the hall, she's bitten also, and there's blood on her. I think Ship has rabies.
That's probably close to the truth there, actually, Vera. I don't know if it's rabies. I didn't see no foam coming out of them things' mouth, but I don't know much about rabies. I'm not a veterinarian or whatever, but it's something wrong.
At that moment, I say, let's try to get Betty's son also in here before something happens.
Did you lock the door behind you, Betty?
No, he was asleep. Why would I lock the door on?
I'm just asking, woman. This ain't no time to be getting snippish. These people, these white people, I swear. Alright, yeah, Puck, yeah, I agree with you. We got to get that boy. Betty, give us your key. You don't need to be out there. Let's let Cletus and Puck go take care of this.
Alright, so as Dee Dee...
give me the key.
Oh, Cletus and Puck! Alright, so Dee Dee...
Let's let Cletus and Puck take care of this.
Alright, so Cletus and Puck, as you pull the... you gotta basically push Vera away from the peephole. You guys get the door open, and as you get the... I'm gonna warm you up here. Get over here. So as you guys open up the door, I mean, now the sounds are louder. You can hear a lot of people screaming, and just all of a sudden you can hear this Captain Kirkman, this Captain Kirkman, this Jason Kirkman. You remember hearing him. You remember his voice, and you can hear, "What the hell's going on here? Everybody back into your rooms!" And this is as the door is opening up, and Cletus and Puck are going out to go get Betty's son Sam. So you can see that Jason Kirkman arrives back. The head of the security detail on the fine ship, the Pinnacle. He also has 6 security officers with him, and officers, and they've arrived on the scene. The girl that's on the ground, the blonde-headed girl, looks to be about 16 or 17. She's screaming. I mean, she's just nonstop screaming about her father, and her father didn't mean to do this, and she just screaming. I mean, she's just uncontrollably screaming and crying. A couple of the men that helped her, they've actually gone off. You can see that Kirkman has a couple of the guards help her up, and he commands them to take him down to the infirmary. And you hear him mention that now that we've got the infirmary under control again, get her down there and get her some medical attention ASAP. And then as everybody's still kind of being out in the corridors, he basically issues an order to everybody to get. He says it. I mean, he's blunt. He says, "Get the F inside of your cabins, or I'm taking every one of you into the brig right now." So, but and as this happened, Cletus and Puck, you're able to get Sam out of Betty's room. So he's reluctant to come, but you still get him nonetheless, and you get him pulled into Dee Dee's room.
What the fuck is going on out there, guys?
All I know is if there's a man named Tom Savini on this cruise, it is one hell of a murder mystery party.
Dave.
Sure.
Can we make some kind of contact with
Yeah,
with
use the
Kirkman?
phone here, Puck. Use the phone.
Sure.
Yeah,
Kirkman's out in the hall. He's out in the hallway. And people are still reluctant to go into their rooms, and he screams, "Get the F into your rooms now!" And that's when he hollers out, "I'm going to take every single last one of you guys down to the brig if you don't get the F in there now."
I'm going up to Kirkman and tell him what happened over here.
Yeah, it doesn't. It seems like he really Puck. Everybody else. I mean, it sounds and it seems like he doesn't really have control of the situation. I mean, shit is like going nuts on this ship now. I mean, people screaming everywhere. Even out on the balcony, you can see that there are several people being attacked out on the balcony now, out on the lounge area. I mean, shit is just going to hell in a handbasket now.
I say to Kirkman, this is getting out of hand. We have to leave.
And he tells you, "No shit, Sherlock. Thanks for the observation."
I tell him what happened in the corridor. I said, all of a sudden we started hearing screams, and after that, everyone started running around, and the girl next door that you have taken off to the infirmary now, she was attacked by a father. She was screaming.
They got to the infirmary. The doors were basically broken. The glass was broken. There was none of these monsters, as you called them. So they basically took back the infirmary. They called a couple of the other medical officers from the other parts of the ship, and now they're going to try to get this thing cleaned up, get it under control. But now, his radio is going crazy now. You can hear that, there's people being attacked out on the sun deck, out on the pool area, in the casino. I mean, this is just non-stop. I mean, his radio is just... He turns it off. He goes, "Jesus Christ, what is going on here?"
If you do want, we can have. We are willing to help when needed to take control of the situation. I say.
Well, Kirkman says that there's a missing man. Just before they took this girl out of here, that there is a missing man that they need to find, because he was bit, and they need to find him, and they need to find out what is going on. So they are going to need to check the security cameras and find this guy and follow him. And he asks you, Puck. He asks you, did you see? Did he? Is a gentleman. He has the girl. Just as the girl's being taken to the infirmary, ask you to. He asked her to describe the person to you, and she describes you. Blonde hair, dark hair, brown eyes. It basically looks like everybody on the fucking ship almost, So you have no clue. You didn't see him, Puck. I mean, you just literally just open up the door, you and Cletus. Yeah. So you tell him that, and then he tells you, "Well, I've got to get back to the security room. I have to find this guy." Yeah, we need to find him, and we need to see how we can handle this. We need to find him. And it just doesn't look like, guys. It looks like the ship is like, all hell's going loose now. There's no keeping this.
Who was in the room still?
I'm in here.
Everybody is in the
You're
room.
Betty's in here.
Even Betty's son is back into the room now also.
Yeah, Betty's son.
All right. Well, I start to looking at the. I think they have like an emergency route on the doors to tell you the quickest way to a life raft. And I point to it and I say, guys, I think we need to pick Plan B. Very soon.
Kirkman, and people are still coming out, and Kirkman just says, screw it. You guys are on your own. If you guys leave your rooms, and if you're killed, it's not on me. So if you're leaving your room, I have nothing. I have no control over it. So, and then he looks at everybody.
Right.
He looks at everybody in the room, and he says, all of you, you guys are all in on this. You're coming with me right now. And he still has 4 of his detail people with him, and he seems very frustrating. He seems very frustrated. He's almost fixing to. Seems like he's almost fixing to snap. So, Pharaoh Gamer,
Let's just do what the man
Pharaoh
says
Gamer,
here.
thank you very much for the follow.
Let's move.
Well, yeah, ugly until he gets over his PTSDs.
All right, let's just go with him. We'll
Yeah,
find out more.
and as you guys are
this
walking
fella
with
than we
him,
will here in the room.
I mean, he's
Kirby, why
telling
don't
you
toss
that
me that sidearm and I'll cover you.
he says this just can't be swept under the rug anymore. And as you're walking along the couple of the corridors, and then you're out on the outer skirts of the ship, I mean, you can literally see people jumping over the fucking rails of the ship to get off of the ship. And I mean, you're out in the middle of the Atlantic. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're 40 miles offshore.
They're fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there's people being attacked, and now you can see that there are these slow walking creatures that you remember down in the infirmary. They're everywhere now.
Yeah.
Thank goodness you guys are up on the 4th balcony. Kirkman definitely seems frustrated. He's trying to get the crowd to listen. They're not listening, not going back to their cabins. And he just says to hell with it and tells everybody that they're on their own. So if you leave your cabin, it's not on him. So.
Yeah, we go with it then, I guess. We're walking along with him.
Now tell Kirkman, let's hop in a lifeboat and get off this shit.
All right, so it looks like Kirkman's actually taking you guys down to the lower deck, and you guys eventually make it to the main security room. And also, there's several times that there are several of these creatures that are coming up to the group, and they're actually firing live ammunition, with their assault rifles into these creatures. They're definitely military trained, so they're shooting at chest level. You know what I'm saying? So you notice that they're being knocked back. And it seems like they're down for a second, and then it seems like they're getting right back up. They shoot them down again, and they just keep getting back up. So, but you guys, after about 10 minutes, you get down to the main security room. This is a room that has dozens of camera monitors, all kinds of desks, other electrical equipment, electronic shit everywhere. And this is basically he says this is a private office, and this is we have everything in here that we need to try to find this guy. And then he closes the door and locks it. So he sits himself behind his desk, and he starts staring at all of you guys. And after a couple seconds, he just basically flat out asks you guys, "What in the hell is going on? What did you guys do?"
I was just about to ask you the same thing. What's this guy you looking for?
He says,
all this shit?
all I know is the impossible that you only read in comic books is happening on this ship right now. And
right, just like we
and
told
it
you when
seems
we were
like,
upstairs in
yeah,
the bridge.
exactly. And it seems like every time that this thing is escalating, you 5 people are here. You're here.
We was just in our fucking room. We were getting
Because
ready
I
to
didn't want
barricade
you
the
guys
door and
Just
stuff.
the
getting
first to
out of
witness it.
my
We're
sight.
trying to help.
But you
Right.
can also.
Well, I'm glad to be with
I
you
would-
guys with the guns. I
everybody
see how you
give
took
me
care
a-
of them biters on the way up.
Give me a everybody give me a notice check, flat out. No negatives, no bonuses, no negative modifiers. Just give me a notice check. Ooh, I like that.
Look at that 0 there.
Yeah, you start
Hey,
drooling,
that's
Vera.
fatigue. Is that gone?
Oh my.
That's yeah.
How did you get a 0?
Dave, that fatigue that we had, is that gone?
The fatigue's
my
gone.
fatigue
Yes.
is-
DD.
My fatigue is
Wow,
incorporated.
you had double ones also. Holy shit.
As strange as it is, I would like to use a Benny and roll
Which
this.
one? Which one did we have to roll? Because it didn't roll yet.
Notice book.
We need to work on your notice rolls there, Puck, so you can get the right roll going. Give me a notice roll. So yeah, if you want to use a Benny, you can go ahead and use a Benny, Cletus. So that means that you have 2 Bennies left for the night.
And
Okay,
with my
so-
alertness edge, I get a
Ooh,
plus
that's
2
right.
to notice rolls to hear, see, or otherwise sense the world around.
Right on.
All right. So with your raise, Betty, you definitely
That's 8.
know, and with your raise, Cletus, that's just a 5. You don't add the 5 and 3 together, but. You notice,
Okay.
both of you, with your raises, you notice that he's definitely insinuating that you guys might possibly have something to do with this. But that's just between Betty and Cletus. Now, Vera, Puck, and Dee,
Right.
you guys just think
Right.
that
We
he's just
don't pick up on that.
utterly
Right.
pissed off at you right now.
I want to get a good chance to roll my persuasions.
I mean, he hasn't directly said it, but, Betty and Cletus, you guys definitely think that he's insinuating you have something to do with this. All right, so he's on his computer and he's pulling things up from like the last 2 hours, and he seems like he's pulling up the banquet, and he pulls up to where, and then on all of the monitors in the security room go up to where Mr. Haynes is at your table, and it's on all of the monitors, and you can see he's just mingling around, talking with Vera most of the time, and he just collapses, kind of falls over. You can see Dee Dee, he tries to help him as he tried to, and then he goes down. He sees the ship's medical staff come over, and he says he didn't see anything there. So they see him being taken off by the medical staff. They see Miss Haynes come over, and they see her talking with you. And then he's starting to follow the guards to the infirmary. And as he's switching cameras, you're seeing the different angles of the medical staff taking him to the infirmary. Well, after about several minutes of this fast forwarding and whatnot, he sees that as one of the medical staff personnel is on top of him, basically taking his heart pressure, checking his vitals and stuff. All of a sudden he starts to give him CPR again. And you can see this go on for about a minute or so. And as he's giving him CPR, that's when you see that Mr. Haynes starts attacking this doctor that's helping him. And then you can see another one of the medical personnel coming over trying to restrain him. He gets attacked as well. And this goes on for several more minutes, and you can see basically Mr. Haynes is just fucking ripping everybody up in there. He's just they're trying to restrain him and whatnot, and it's just not happening. And you can see all this on the mon. He just looks like he's animalistic. I mean, he's just shredding. I mean, he's got one of the medical personnel on the ground, literally ripping through his clothes, ripping through his scrubs, and opening his chest like it was nothing, like opening up his skin like a can opener, and just ripping out internal organs and everything, and just eating them.
What the hell is this shit, Mr. Kirkman? Have you ever seen anything like this?
He says, I'm not a believer of the supernatural, but this has got to be some type of terrorist weapon. This is just unbelievable. He says maybe it may even be drugs, maybe it may be speed, maybe it might be bad crack, maybe it might be goofballs. I don't know, but I've never seen this before. I don't believe in the supernatural, but this is happening, guys. This is not a dream.
We know. He's seen
Yeah,
all
we're
these people
we're
that got
50
video
miles from shore. We got
get back
water
up.
on all directions of us. What are we gonna do? We have got to call the Coast Guard. We've got to.
We're gonna get in one of these damn lifeboats and get the hell away from this damn thing.
Does the captain still have control of the bridge?
You know, and he's still not. He's really still. He still thinks you guys possibly have something to do with it. But the captain should be on the bridge. He says, "Yes, the captain's on the bridge. Yes."
Okay.
And he actually
Does he
gets
have
on the
any
phone. He
guards
calls.
with him?
There are a couple of guards inside. There's a couple of guards outside. He had 4 guards still in the detail.
Can I try something here?
What would you like to try?
May not work. Anyway, I step up to the desk, lean over, right to his face, and tell him, "We have to evacuate the ship."
We don't have enough lifeboats to evacuate this ship.
Oh, jeez, just a fucking Titanic all over again. What is wrong with white people and these big-ass damn ships and not enough
I
lifeboats?
say, Mr. Kirkland, we don't need all the ships.
Mr. Forthington
Wink,
ran
wink.
out of money. He is broke building his floating island of pleasure.
I'm sorry, we don't need all the lifeboats.
That is not. I cannot do that. My job is to keep these people safe. And frankly, you guys need to tell me what's going on. I know you guys have to know what's going on. You have to tell me what is going on. I have to know the source of this. I need to eliminate it.
I pointed the monitors and tell him, "This is what we saw also, and then we came to you to tell you about it."
Give me a. Do you have
Yeah.
persuasion, Vera?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
She
I
does.
thought you'd never ask. That's like the best thing I have in the whole world.
I would love for you to give me a persuasion check, please.
You made my night.
Incoming snake eyes.
Oh my god, and she got a fucking raise too, man. Because all these checks, you can get a normal, and then you can get a raise. I think she got 2 raises there, didn't she?
I got a raise plus 4 to charisma
Oh my
because I'm
gosh.
drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, so it's 13, right?
I had to take 2 edges to get that.
I know, right? What is it, attractive and then?
So
then gorgeous?
as you're talking to him, and I mean, what are you doing to try to convince him? I mean, what else are you doing? Anything else, Vay? Or are you just saying, "Look at the fucking cameras, buddy"? I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. I'm leaned over the desk right in his face.
Cleavage
so
is-
you got like
Is that
cleavage
not
hanging out? Not at a time like this. I mean, I don't know. It possibly could. I mean, if he thinks that this could be
It's
his
surprising.
the last go round, you know what I mean? He's going to
Exactly.
pull Vera into the office or into the head or something, and just go out in a blaze of glory. So, but it does seem
that's
that
what I think. We don't need all the ship. We don't need all the boats, lifeboats.
it seems like
Half the people on the ship are already dead.
it seems like his attitude is actually starting to change towards everyone. And it also seems like he's starting to come around, and just as this is starting to happen, the door opens up, and Captain Ramira and Mr. Forthington enter the office, and they have
shit.
a couple
Who's on
guards
the
also.
bridge now?
No one. No, I'm just kidding. He says that there's a couple first mates up there.
Okay.
And
Thank
basically, as Mr. Forthington and Captain Ramiro, it's like they don't even acknowledge that you guys are even there, because they are immediately confronting Mr. Kirkman, and
Right.
they are basically giving him the death stare, and Mr. Forthington says, "I understand you've requested that Captain Romero contact the Coast Guard, Kirkman. Did I hear this right from one of your other guards?" And Kirkman says, "That's correct. Whatever's happening on this ship, it's putting everyone in serious danger." And
here comes the
Forthington,
bureaucratic bullshit.
Forthington says, well, I see. And he starts to scratch his chin a little bit and itch his head. And he says, well, I've actually instructed the captain to deny your request, Mr. Kirkman. And, Kirkman, he looks astonished and he says, you did what? And then Forthington says, whatever's happening, I expect you and your man to handle and contain this goddamn situation. There's absolutely no need to alert the Coast Guard because you have all of the goddamn resources that you required when you put your fucking detail together. I gave you everything you needed, so you have everything. And he starts getting, a little bit rambunctious, and he tells him that you have it under control, and he is denying your request. He is denying your request. And then Kirkman basically, he tells him that you're out of your mind, man. We've got dead crew, we've got dead passengers, more passengers are dying as we're in here sitting down. And he says, I don't even know what the hell is happening to the dead, never mind what's going to happen to the rest of the crew. And then Forthington says, well, I approve, I approved you to the position to maintain it where you're at for a reason, Mr. Kirkman. And then he reiterates that he gave him all of the resources that he wanted and needed. And then he says, I expect the situation handled from within. The last thing we want is the goddamn Coast Guard involved. And then Kirkman, he actually folds like a lawn chair. Kirkman says, you're right. And then he gets sarcastic again. He goes, no, that's actually the first goddamn thing we need. And then, Forthington steps back a little bit and smiles. He just looks like a total douche right now. He's got that predatory type of smile. And then he says, Mr. Kirkman, the Pinnacle is my pleasure ship. You understand that. Mine. You, Captain Romero, all the way down to the assistant chef, work for me. And I've entirely too much invested into this ship to watch it all go to hell on the maiden voyage. I expect the situation to be dealt with and contained within. And I expect it to be done within the next 24 fucking hours, or I'm going to hire someone who can and fly him out to the goddamn ship, and then they'll never see you again. Have I made myself clear, Kirkman? This will not be another Titanic. And then Kirkman says, "You have no idea what you're doing." And then, and then Forthington actually interrupts him. And then, he says, "Have I made myself clear again?" And then, he's staring at Kirkman. He says, "Yes, yes, actually, you have." And then Forthington says, "Good." And then he turns to everybody, all of you, and he smiles. And he says, I apologize. Well, hold on. He turns towards everybody and he says he apologizes for the recent events. And please enjoy the rest of your cruise. And if you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to ask one of our trusted crewmen on top of here on the Pinnacle. And then, with that, it seems like Forthington and Captain Romero start to turn around like they're going to leave.
Cletus, take this idiot. And I turn to Kirkland if I have any more pool with him at all. And I tell him, it's not about chain of command anymore. We have to get off this ship now.
Yeah, you guys got the fucking guns. Do something.
Yeah, Kirkman, what are these resources that he said that he gave you?
You see it. All of the electrical equipment I need, the guns, the ammunition, everything that I need. And
Where's
then
your armory?
Forthington and Captain Romero, they depart, and 2 of the guards go with them. And as they're leaving, Captain Romero kind of looks back and kind of gives you a shake of the head. He's kind of looking at Kirkman. And it seems he's definitely not agreeing with Forthington at all. That's what everybody would, because he kind of glances at Forthington also, as he's like shaking his head and looking back with like this somber look, like this is out of his control. You know what I mean?
After they leave,
rot on his boat. Let's get off this thing.
Exactly. After they leave the room, I kind of put my hands on his desk. You see, this motherfucker you work for is crazy. He ain't in his right mind. He just told us to enjoy the rest of our trip. Do you think that's possible now? I mean, honestly, Mr. Kirkman, this guy ain't thinking right. Something wrong with him.
This boat is gonna be on Fox News and CNN for like 2 fucking months
There ain't
straight.
no avoiding that. You called the Coast Guard. You did the right thing. We need some help
No,
out
the
here.
Coast Guard isn't called TD.
He didn't
They're
call.
gonna-
I
they're
thought he
gonna
just
call
said he
that
called the Coast Guard. Oh, he
Geraldo.
wants to call the Coast Guard. Okay.
They'll have Geraldo out here covering this in the middle of the ocean.
Geraldo.
They'll be they'll be digging up Jimmy Hoffa's grave out here on this ship somewhere, right?
Right.
I'm asking Mr. Kirkman, is there any way possible that we can bypass the bridge and get a signal out?
Well, the only way that I can't do it from in here, it would have to be from the bridge, you know. And as the two leave after a couple seconds, you know, Kirkman sits back down in his chair, and it seems like now that, you know, he's a lot more calmed down now. Then he tells you guys, all right. Kirkman says, as he looks back at all of you, that asshole's gonna get everyone killed. I really don't know if you people have anything to do with this or not, but I actually do not think you guys have anything to do with it now. I think you all were just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But, you know, as charge of security on the ship, I have to find out. You've seen these things. You've come into contact with them. So I am going to use my maritime law, and effective immediately, I want all of you to work closely with me and my men. We need to contain this regardless of that idiot's reasons. Whatever's happening, if it spreads too far, we could be looking at close to 3,000 of those things in a very seriously confined small space, as in the Pinnacle. And that is not going to happen on my watch.
Thank you, Mr. Kirkland. You want me manning the 50 cal or the tank?
Well, we've got plenty of 50 cals.
You
No,
was
I'm just
talking
kidding.
to Puck here about some guy you were looking for. What's he got to do with all this?
Repeat that, please. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, DD.
You were talking to Buck earlier about some guy that you was looking for. What's he got to do with all this?
That is.
I think he means patient zero.
Yeah, well, it was one of the guys that was helping that girl out also, because they wanted to find him before he turned, because they wanted to take him to the infirmary. You know what I mean?
But this shit's contagious. Then you get bit, you turn into one of these fucking biter things.
Yeah,
Does anyone know knowledge of Western culture know this is zombies yet? And go ahead and break that fourth wall.
Yeah, Forthington is going to get everyone killed, and you know the safety of the Pinnacle is in distress now. So you know, it's just unfortunate. You know, he's too worried about, you know, his ship, his reputation. He's kind of forgotten about everything else, which is the 3,000 lives plus that are on this ship.
I just say to Kirkman, where are the radio transmitters?
Just told you there was
Well,
on
they're- Well, no, handhelds. Yeah, you're talking about contacting the Coast Guard. He can't do that from here. It has to be done from
Aren't there radios
from
on
the
the
radio.
lifeboats?
Adoko, thank you very much for the follow.
There should be some sort of radios.
On the
there
few,
should be
probably
some
not.
kind of backup.
He says
Yeah,
that
they said he kind of run out of
he-
money when it
yeah,
comes to the lifeboats.
he thinks that they weren't
They
really
probably
into
probably
the
won't even
budget.
hold water.
Now there are boats. There are definitely boats. So you know, but you can definitely tell that his mood has changed, and you know he's definitely got concern for the well-being of everybody on the ship, and he's basically telling you to fuck Forthington. We're gonna take care of this shit. So you guys are all, according to maritime law, you guys are deputized, and you are all working for Kirkman now. All right. So,
Do I get some body
is there anything
armor and
else?
some boots with that?
Anything else that you guys want to talk about?
I just want a sniper rifle and 3,000 rounds, and let's get this home. In an elevated position.
Right. on the top of the what do they call that on the ship? The bucket at the very top. I can't remember the lookout.
The crow's nest.
The crow's
No,
nest.
I'll
That's
tell
it.
you
Yeah,
where I
the
wanna
crow's
sit.
nest. Yeah.
If you look at the ship and you see the big fin on it that looks like a Delta Airlines fin hanging off the back of the ship, I want to sit up on one of the wings of the Delta Airlines fin on the back. I think that'd be the perfect position, and just snap them off
Because you know they're not going to get up there on
one
you.
after another.
But just think if that rogue wave hits the ship, then you're going over.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be thrown clear of the accident.
All right, so as all of this is going down,
We've got all the information we need.
Kirkman's radio suddenly comes to life again as one of the other security officers comes on panic, and it's on the other end reports that there's a major breach in the medical suite, and you can see that you can hear that these things have gotten loose. They're causing numerous casualties, and just Kirkman looks at you in disbelief as he's listening to this. Then he gets back onto the radio, tells his men to do what they can do to stay safe and to secure the door until they figure out what to do with the bodies and to stop them from turning. Because these people need to be quarantined. And then all of a sudden you hear the guy come back on screaming, they just broken through all the way! Oh my god! Oh my god, they're here! And then the radio goes silent. And
Lifeboats.
the transmission's cut off as the other officer was in a mid-radio transmission. So, Kirkman tells you to follow him to the medical suite. All right, so that's where we're going to end tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord.
Jesus Christ.
We
Oh,
are
God.
we are on our way to the medical suite next week.
Jesus. All right.
This guy wants to head into the hive. And I want him to leave. It's crazy.
Exactly.
So that's
Just
where
like
we're
a
going to
horror
end
movie.
tonight. That was fun, guys, gals. I think
We're gonna
that was
get you a boat, Vera.
I think that was very fun.